Talk about your sense of adventure, being it traveling like you have been after your rookie year this year, why you like it, and how do you decide where to go?
No, it was awesome. I had an awesome time overseas with 5 different countries. I had an opportunity to do 5 different camps in each country. Well, 5 camps total, but a camp in each country. And it's just something I've always wanted to do. I told myself if I get the opportunity to play in the league and, after college, whatever I'm doing, I have the opportunity to travel a little bit. I always dreamed about that. I love historical stuff, so I love history class when I was in school. And I just love to, meet new people and try to, expand my brand and my, cultural experience as much as I can. So, I had a couple of people that helped me outside, that's in my tight circle, to pick certain spots and get connected with those people over there overseas and, tour me around and connect with those football teams and really expand my knowledge and teach them, the American football, as much as I can to help them out.
What countries did you go to?
I went to United Kingdom, so I went to London. Went to London. I went to Austria, Innsbruck, Austria. I went to Venice, Italy, and Milan, Italy. I went to Egypt, and I went to Beijing, China, and Shanghai, China. Honestly, I can't even choose a favorite. Each one was a different vibe, different energy. Each country was unique in its own way. So it was all of really just an awesome experience.
Was it hard to get that photo standing on a camel?
No, actually it wasn't. It was pretty easy. I don't know what they said to the camel to make it stay still, but they said something in whatever language they were speaking, and I stood there and I hopped on it, stood up, and got it, so it was cool.
Deshaun, how do you approach this offseason? A little different, you're healthy now.
Right.
Everything that's like a year ago, easing back into things. Just talk about the difference in the year and your approach in this offseason and the work you're able to put in to improve again.
I could start, where I want to start, and that's, kind of get ahead and be able to do everything. Last year I was kind of trying to like you say, ease into it and trying to find my way and do things I can do without, re-injuring myself or going too far. So, but I'm going in full face, throttle, full in and, embracing the whole process. It's a new year. It's a new opportunity for us and myself to be able to grind and get better. And the motto, of course, as always, is get 1% better each and every day. What am I doing each and every day to help myself master my craft and then help this team, help this organization? So, before I leave this building, I got to make sure I check those 2 boxes and continue to do that on a consistent basis.
Even though you're not supposed to talk about football before yesterday with the coaches, what have you heard about Carl Smith? What do you think about him? Because he's been in the league since way before you were born.
Right. Since '86, maybe '85. So, he's a guy with a lot of experience, seen a lot of different quarterbacks, a lot of different. Just have so much knowledge. So being able to have him in that room and learn from him and, learn from, how football was back then and learn how, what he's learning now. He's seen so much and been around so many people and won so much. So it's a great opportunity for myself, for that QB room to be able to grow and expand, as much as we can and really, take it to another level. So I'm excited about that, and it's been good the past 2 days.
You ever carried any grief about the national championship?
Nah, not at all. We ain't even spoke on that. He won one, I won one, so now we haven't really talked too much about it. I'm pretty sure it will come up though.
What are some of your goals for this year? What would you like to accomplish? You've been to the playoffs, you won a division. What do you hope to do this year?
Honestly, I'm not even focused on the in-season goals right now. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on these 9 weeks, and that's really is master my craft, correct all the mistakes we did last year. So really get back to the basics, fundamentals, footwork, operation of the offense, take my knowledge of the defense recognition to another level, my knowledge of the offense and really controlling what we can do at the line of scrimmage and really just building myself as a leader and embracing that year 3 role as a quarterback in this organization. So in-season goals will come this after the 9 weeks, but right now I'm focused on 1 day at a time in this 9-week program and trying to build myself to be the best player, best teammate I can be.
When you look back at year 2, what are some of those mistakes you mentioned that you would like to correct?
It's just everything. It's just really, it's not too much big things. It's little things of, it's details of the game. It's kind of hard to really explain if you're not in the system. It's more of, the people that's in the locker room, people that's in that on the offense that understand it, the terminology. So, I mean, it's really just the small details that is correctable. It's nothing major where, I got to spend a couple months to fix it. Just watch the film, get on the same page with the O-line, the receivers, and go from there.
Now that you and Bill talk football, you mentioned defensive recognition and the playbook and stuff. How does that process work over the next couple of months as you and Bill kind of build that? How do you guys go about it? Kind of take us into the room when you kind of go over the building the playbook stuff.
It's really just getting in the film room, just talking, communicating. It's not, hey, you did this wrong, or I messed up on this, or I made the wrong play call on this. Hey, what happened on this situation? Correct this mistake. This happened this many times in this situation. If it's different opportunities, different, defenses that cause different problems versus this look, how can we correct it and move on from it? So it's just really communicating, watching it together, getting on the same page, and if we can do that, it's the future is bright. So that's what we've been doing, and we have a lot of time, a lot of opportunities to be able to watch it on my own, and also watch it as a unit and as an individual group. So that's what we've been doing, and is going to continue.
About Tim Kelly and his promotion, you've been around him for 2 years now. Kelly?
It's awesome. I'm excited for Tim. He deserves it, especially for the past few years. I've seen him work. I've seen how much he's learned on the OB, all the time and effort he's put in with helping this offense and this team be as successful as we can. And it's been great. So he's doing a great job so far. I know it's only been 2 days, but I'm excited for his opportunity, and he's going to do great.
What type of advice that you offer to the young quarterback?
We're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. This just got shut down.
So what's been the difference for you this offseason compared to, say, the last 2 off seasons when you had to spend so much time reading?
I get to spend a lot less time in the training room, obviously. I get to just work on my craft, work in the weight room, and not have to worry as much, I would say. The last 2 years are just trying to get back and hoping to be able to play and hoping that you can play at a decent level. Whereas this year you get to actually focus on improving and getting better and not trying to come back from a traumatic injury.
What did it mean to you to play better than a decent level?
It felt good. Like I said at the end of the year, it felt good. There's obviously still so much I want to improve on and get better at, but to be able to play at that level and to be able to help the team again and to be able to help the team win games was a really good feeling after everything I've been through.
JJ, you had a chance to spend some time with your brothers recently at UCLA and work out and hang out together. What was that like? Did it feel a little bit like high school days and back when you were in Wisconsin growing up?
It was awesome. Anytime I get to spend time with them, especially now with how spread out we are and everybody has different lives, it was really special to be able to just mess around like old times. We're joking with each other, but we're also pushing each other in the workouts, and we're enjoying time with each other. And there's nothing like it when you get a chance to make memories with not only friends but family. There's really nothing like it. So I'm very fortunate that the last 2 weeks we got to spend together. We came even closer than we were before, which is hard to imagine because we're pretty damn close.
Happy to be an uncle?
I am, man. It's a crazy, crazy feeling. I'm just an uncle, but I feel so much pride and excitement. When he smiles and when he looks at you and you get to hold him, there's nothing like it. It was so cool, and I'm so happy for Derek and his wife. And that was another plus of the last 2 weeks, is I got to see Logan almost every single day. So it was really neat.
What did you think when you heard you're going to be practicing in Green Bay?
I got really excited. I'm going to be honest with you. I got really excited. I went to training camp in Green Bay as a kid to watch, and I saw them ride the bikes in. I saw them practice. I stood by the parking lot fence and asked for autographs and got autographs from guys that had no clue who they were, but I was excited because I got an autograph on a shirt. And that was really one of the first times when or at least sat there and I was like, that is the coolest job in the world. When I sat in those bleachers outside of the practice fields in Green Bay and I watched those guys practice, and I was like, think about this. They play football for a living. People come to watch them practice, and they get to do this every day. And that was one of the first moments where I really realized how cool and special that was and how hard I wanted to work towards it. So now for me to be able to get to go back to my home state, to play in front of those fans and Lambeau, I missed the last trip to Lambeau, so for me to be able to go into Lambeau, it's going to be really special. It's going to be cool. I'm very excited about it.
How old were you then?
I was probably, my guess is middle school. I think, yeah, I think I was a middle schooler, and it was just us and a couple buddies. We just drove up for the day just to see it because we'd always heard about it. I mean, you grew up in Wisconsin. That's just kind of, it's a way of life up there. I mean, and so we drove up for the day. I only went to one. I saw one, and then I went to Lambeau once in my life to see a game, and that's my only experience. But growing up there, it's different. It's different. You know, it's a different culture, different. It's a way of life. If you wear anything but green and gold in Wisconsin on a Sunday, you're pretty much getting kicked out of the state.
JJ, what do you think about bringing your charity classic softball game back after a few years, and then are you going to do anything different this year for it?
I'm really, really excited about having it back. You know, I mean, obviously last year I took it off to focus on getting back on the field, but the guys, it's so much fun with the guys. That's the best part. Just the locker room beforehand. I mean, I tell the guys, I ask them to show up at a certain time just so that we have enough time to get ready for the home run derby. I think it's the first time I've ever seen guys show up like 2 hours early for anything. So it's really cool. We get in the clubhouse, we have a lot of fun. We go out there and the fans make it great. And I mean, we raise a ton of money for kids. So it's the only thing I might do different this year because it's on May 4th. We may have a little Star Wars theme going with some of the things. We're trying to figure out if we can get a stormtrooper in or something. So we might do that. Gonna hopefully have a couple special guests as well, but we're really excited about that, and I know the guys are excited, and I'm lucky to have teammates who come out and support because it's a great event, and like I said, we raise a ton of money.
You have a second place trophy for yourself?
I'm bringing Shane back. I'm bringing Shane back for the home run derby and to play on team defense because he's a lights out pitcher for us. We had to do some negotiations. He had some terms he wanted, which I can't disclose, but it's a certain beverage he wants in his locker. But I'm excited about that. I'm really excited that Shane's going to come back, and I have the trophy, and I plan on retaining it. So I'm going to rub it in his face all the way up to it, I'm going to be honest with you. He's old. He's retired. He probably hasn't been working out. I can guarantee he hasn't been working out, so I got a good shot.
Jane, happy birthday from last month. What's it like now to be 30? What do you attribute your longevity to? The fact is, you know, a lot of guys don't make it to be 30 and still play in the league and still play at a high level.
Thank you. You know, it's crazy. Kay asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday, and I've never really been a big birthday celebrator. Like, we don't do parties, we don't do a lot, and it literally doesn't feel any different to me. It's just, I think that throughout my career, obviously I had the 2 years where it didn't go the way I wanted it to go injury-wise, but it's just pure focus on trying to make it as long as you can. I mean, I love the game. I love the teammates. I love being out there on the field. I love everything about it, and so there's really no other choice. Like, it's not like I'm actively thinking, okay, how can I keep playing? It's just, I got to go out there and play. It doesn't matter. It's the one thing that really has been the driving force throughout my life is I want to get out on the field. I want to play football. So I just figured it out.
With the upcoming schedule coming out, fans are going to make their reservations to go to different games away. Do you have any messages to the traveling Texan fans and to fans in London?
Well, our traveling fans are awesome. We appreciate them so much. It's really cool to go to other cities and see our fan base and hear them right behind our bench. Usually they're awesome. We really appreciate that, so please keep doing that. My brother, TJ, he's in Pittsburgh, and he always brags all the time because their away games are crazy filled. Steeler fans are wild on the road. And then Derek doesn't have a whole lot to brag about out there, period. It's just true, Omar. I mean, I'm not saying anything that's not true. But yeah, we appreciate when you guys come out. I play at Derek Stadium this year, so hopefully I don't get tomatoes thrown at me now. But London I'm really excited about. Obviously, I'm a huge, over the last 6 or 7 years, I've become a huge Premier League fan. I've been over to London quite a few times, and I really enjoyed over there. So I'm excited to see the fan base over there. I'm excited to see the people and to get to play over there. Wembley is such a iconic stadium. It's going to be really cool to have a chance to play over there and to showcase our skills to the London crowd and everybody over in Europe.
JJ, do you have your commencement speech ready to go?
No, I don't. They asked me, so I was with one of my buddies the other day, and he said, hey, they called and they said whenever you finish writing your speech, they want to see a copy of it. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, whenever you're done writing it, just send it over. And I said, well, I don't write speeches. He was like, what do you mean? I said, I'm not going to write it. He said, you're not going to write a speech. What are you going to talk about? I said, I don't know. I'm just going to go up there and talk. Yeah, I mean, that was my full plan. I did not know that, like, you had to write it all out. I'm dead. I didn't know. He was like, they have a teleprompter for you. What do you want on it? I said, nothing. I don't need it. Just give me a black screen and tell me when to stop talking. That was literally my plan, but I found out you have to write some stuff down. So I have about a month to figure it out. I don't know. What do you want me to talk about? I mean, I have some messages I want to say. I have some things I want to get across, but let's be honest. They all just want to go drink beer afterwards. I mean, they're excited. I know how commencements go. Like, they just want the person to give a cool message for about 5 minutes and then get off the stage.
Are you nervous about that?
No, I'm not nervous about it. I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. I get to go back to Wisconsin, Camp Randall. I never graduated, so I get to see what graduation looks like. And it's an honor. I mean, it's such a true honor to be able to, like I said, I grew up 45 minutes from Camp Randall, so being invited to go back, and I walked on there. I wasn't even given a scholarship, so like to have the opportunity, I never really thought about it until now, to have the opportunity to go back to a school and a team that I watched growing up and idolized, walked on, eventually got a scholarship from, now to be able to speak at their commencement. I mean, it's an unbelievable honor, and I take it very seriously. Even though I said I wasn't going to write a speech, I still take it very seriously. But I'm humbled. I've had a very fortunate and cool life. I'm very lucky of all the things I've gotten to do, and this is just another one that is really special to me, and it's been awesome.
Do you think that the 2 years you missed will add 2 years on your career instead of having the wear and tear of those 2 seasons?
I hope so. I really hope so. I mean, I don't want to leave the game anytime soon. I love it. And hopefully we can say that I had 2 less years of pounding on my body. I had 2 less years of wear and tear, so that means 2 more years on the back end. And I feel good. I feel good right now. I'm excited about the season ahead. I'm excited about the team that we've got, the guys that we've got, and I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I get to go around and chase a ball for a living, and they pay me to do it. I couldn't be any luckier. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
How are you feeling these days? Are you feeling this is one of your healthier off seasons you've had in recent years?
Yeah, I was unfortunate last year. Back in the season, I was starting to get in the groove again and feeling like I was playing how I should play after coming off my hip deal. And after having that, I mean, my hip feels great. Everything feels good. And then coming off the back end, having some momentum going into the off season, and really feeling good, really feeling I can work on everything I wanted to instead of just doing rehab and having setbacks. And, just a little mishap on the field in camp, kind of stepped the wrong way and had a little tweak, and it was right before the season and could just never catch up to it and was just behind the 8 ball season trying to get back.
What did you like about this opportunity?
As soon as I got released and I got called up by Houston, I didn't hesitate, came here right away, and just the way they run their program, meeting some of the guys in the locker room, meeting a lot of the coaches, and their expectations for me, them really want me to be here, and just kind of the program they're running. Obviously they've had a lot of great players who have had setbacks, and I feel like they've developed a system to keep people healthy, and a lot of communication, and a lot goes into keeping these guys healthy and coming up with the right schedules for each individual guy. So just kind of hearing that and everything they do, and really excited me. I felt like it was a place where if I went anywhere else, I don't think I would have the opportunities I have here as far as being healthy and actually thriving and feeling good and being the best possible player I could be. So with everything they do in communication, in the training room and the weight room and with the coaches, a lot of people talking to each other, so everyone's on the same page, and feel like put together a good program for me, and I'm really excited.
And with the injuries you've had, with the time you missed, and with the promise that you started your career with.
Right.
How hungry are you right now to be on a one-year deal, all those things that you recently experienced, to have this fresh start and kind of go after it?
Yeah, you know, I kind of like being on a one-year deal. I think you learn a lot about yourself when your back's against the wall, and you know, all the cards are against you. But you know, at the same time here, you know, I've put good film on tape, and you know, it's always been, you know, everyone knows what kind of player I could be. It's just about staying healthy and you know, having a great offseason. So I feel if I could put those things together and go flying into the season feeling healthy and feeling strong, which I am right now. I mean, it's been 3 to 4 weeks here, and you know, I'm already feeling really good. So you know, that's just been the X factor. It's just health. So I mean, hopefully that's all behind me, and can put a great offseason together, and you know, go into this season and compete, and you know, come out swinging. So I'm really excited. You know, this is the most fired up I've been in a while. So you know, it's a new environment. You know, never really knew anyone here coming in, so you know, it's just a whole different vibe. So I'm really excited and ready to get rolling.
Why the Texans?
You know, I actually have a little history here. My dad played for the Houston Gamblers. So he grew up in Texas. He always talked about Texas, how much he loved it. But you know, going back to what I said earlier, I think you know, if I were to go to Buffalo or Jacksonville or different places, you know, that's one thing. I feel like here, with everything they have going with their weightlifting, you know, their sports science side of it, their training staff, kind of all that accumulated together, I think it was going to keep me healthy and get the results that I want on the field. And I just feel like they've invested a tremendous amount of money, you know, into those aspects on the team and the sports science side. And, you know, that's what was appealing to me. And, you know, I'd never been anywhere where they did something like this. And it really excited me. And I feel like it's a place where they're going to keep me healthy and take care of me and, you know, get me out in the field. That's what it's all about, is staying healthy through the season and playing throughout the whole year. And beginning of my career, the first 4 years, I didn't miss a snap. And, you know, it just injuries started piling up. So, I mean, if I'm healthy and I'm feeling good, I'm out there. I'm not one to take breaks if I'm feeling good or if I need rest. I mean, if I'm healthy, I like to be out there contributing and be out in the field. I don't like to miss anything. So,
Are there any like limitations on what you're able to do right now?
You know, I feel great right now. You know, anything they tell me to do, I'm doing. They're a lot smarter than I am in those aspects. But, you know, it's just all about feedback, how I'm feeling, and me being forefront and honest with them. And, you know, so far everything's been great. You know, they're slowly ramping it up for me. And, you know, eventually we got a plan to get back out there. But, you know, like I said, they're really on my program right now, and, you know, kind of everything I got to do to get back. But until they let me free, you know, I'm kind of on their program right now. But it's been great.
What is your comfort with the Texans playbook right now?
You know, I've been in a few different offenses. Obviously, my first year in Minnesota, having Musgrave, and then Norv coming in, and then me going to Carolina under Shula. You know, a lot of it's a lot of similar concepts, but a lot of different terminology. So it's kind of just relearning the language all over again. But I think this being my 8th year, it's pretty easy to adjust and to adapt. I mean, a lot of stuff is, you know, kind of the base or foundation of a play, and you kind of just build other things on that. But, you know, the fundamentals and everything are really similar from what I've learned in the past and having different coaches and whatnot. So,
what is your comfort with working with a mobile quarterback like Deshaun Watson?
You know, I've had Teddy Bridgewater, I've had Cam Newton, so, you know, I'm definitely used to having a mobile quarterback. But, you know, watching him and his presence in the pocket and, you know, the talent that kid brings to the offense, you know, he's a tremendous player, and to think what he's accomplished, you know, with his limited time in the NFL, I mean, the sky's the limit for that guy. So, you know, to be blocking for a guy like that, and, you know, a lot of times quarterbacks like him, you get beat, he helps you and he saves you and he makes you look a lot better. So, you know, I get real excited watching him, and, you know, I can't wait to get on the field.
Since you've done it before, how long does that take to kind of get a feel for, you know, you can get a feel for what your quarterback tends to do when things break down and how they move when you've done with mobile guys. How long does that kind of has taken you in the past to get that feel for what your quarterback's going to do?
You know, for me, it starts out on the practice field and obviously in preseason, and but, you know, all I can do right now is just watch a lot of film. So it's just coming down to watching film and seeing where he's at in the pocket, and, what his comfortable spot in the pocket's at. As a tackle, you want to know where your quarterback's in the pocket. So just right now, coming down to watching film and seeing what he does, and obviously the biggest thing to learn the most about a guy is practicing with them and getting those repetitions with them. So that's important. Once we start doing that, is getting out there and getting a feel for it.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
There we go.
Bring to the defense as a guy that has a lot of experience and has played a lot played in this division?
Oh, I think the familiarity, me being familiar with this, this conference and the division, I think that it brings, it gives me kind of like an edge, if you will. And, just my ability, what I can bring to this defense, obviously there was something that they seen in me to bring me here first and foremost, and I'm appreciative of that opportunity. And, just what they want to do. This is a man-dominant team. I know they like to run man, and, it just fits my scheme. That fits what I do. I feel like I'm a versatile safety if you want to play me in the middle of the field, which what Jacksonville I did, they relied on me heavily there. Aside of man-to-man situations, I feel like I'm a versatile guy. If you want to play me close to the line, deep, I think I'm very interchangeable with Reid, and I think that this is an awesome opportunity to be here. So, however they feel like they want to utilize me best, I'm excited about that opportunity. Obviously, we just getting our feet wet, and we haven't kind of cemented a role, but just know the best tight ends that's coming in NRG, man, I'm gonna put the clamps on them.
When they were recruiting you specifically, they mentioned that to talk about the tight ends, how you did against the Gronkowskis, the Ertzes, and
Yep.
they didn't, last season have those same types of shutdowns against those guys. What do you attribute being good at stopping tight ends?
I think that obviously I didn't pay enough attention. I was worried about what we had going on in Jacksonville, so I didn't know that was a struggle. But just the approach that it's always been. I think that me personally, I think that those are the type of situations that I thrive in. That it excites me week in and week out going against these guys, from the Ebrons that you got to see 2 times a week to Delaney Walkers. We got some good tight ends in this division, but it's just about the tight ends are getting bigger, stronger, and faster. They're running like receivers, and they still big like offensive linemen. So the biggest thing is you just truly got to understand each guy is different, but you got to bring your own physicality. That's the biggest thing. These guys are big physical human beings, and the average guy, I'm 6 feet, even though they say I'm 5'11", I'm 6 feet. I'm 6 feet, man. I'm 210. So obviously, I definitely gotta bring that physicality to them before they could get to me. They're running just as fast as me. So it's a lot of things that you gotta bring to the table to be able to defend these tight ends, man. And obviously, just bring that athleticism and whatever else you can bring to the game. But I think that the most important thing is just being physical with these guys. At the end of the day, we already at a disadvantage, 3-4+ inches in height, and 30-40 pounds. And these guys is running just as fast as corners these days. So you bring the physicality on top of just whatever else you could bring to the table. Obviously, you're in the NFL for a reason, so you gotta just let your talent speak for itself and kind of go from there.
You mentioned Justin Reid, you're going to be paired up with him. What do you think of playing with Justin and just kind of the impression he makes on you?
Oh man, the first thing that you realize is that he's definitely a smart guy. I sit next to him in the meetings, and I try to pick his brain. And the biggest thing, not only other people have said, man, like he's almost too smart. He's a guy who knows everything. There hasn't been a question yet, and I've asked him a lot of questions. He hasn't not had the answer to not one question. So for a guy being that young, I don't even think he's 23 yet. So for him being this young, and understanding the game, that's the biggest part about it. I mean, just going back, I was once young, man, and I just wanted to play football and just go out there, run as fast as I could, jump as high as I could. And with him, I think that the mental part, it kind of blows you away because, man, the guy is smart, and that's one of the things that they told me. They said, hey, the one thing you got to realize with him is he might be too smart, and I don't think I've ever heard that about a football player. So that's awesome. And you realize that, man, just being able to pair with a guy like him, obviously the athleticism is there, the talent is there, man. I think that he had one of the more underrated seasons last year. And you combine that with the mental skill set, I think that, me and him will mesh well, man. Our skill set is similar, and I'm excited to pair up with him.
This whole secondary in general, there's a lot of change, only 2 returning corners,
Right.
Obviously. How do you go about building kind of chemistry with that much turnover in a group?
Oh man, I think that's tough anywhere. Just going back anywhere. I think that these guys got to get to know me as the person first and foremost. I got to get to know these guys as people first and foremost. Obviously they don't know nothing about me. Obviously, besides the stuff that they heard about me or seen, whether we watch crossover film and things of that. But I think that the one thing I can say about here, man, and I'm not one to compare, but man, it's just a bunch of guys, man, that just want to have fun and go out there, play football, and win games. And I think that I was accepted with open arms, man, and it's a little different. You know, a lot of teams have guys with egos and things like that. Just being here from just getting accepted by JJ and Deshaun from the first day I signed here, just the whole locker room environment, and you speak on the secondary, man. You would think that these guys been knowing each other. They embraced me, man, and just the conversations, just how things been flowing, man. I feel like I've been here for a year or two, man, and I think that that's the most important thing. I got to build that first, man, before I can take the lead of a group, man. These guys got to know me. They got to trust me. They got to see that I'm a dependable person, man, on and off the field, man. And I think that happens with over time. So, I'm eager to show those guys, man, my worth. And obviously the game for itself will speak for itself. But the other parts about it, they got to know me as a person before they can feel like, hey, man, this is the guy who we feel can lead this secondary and kind of continue to build from there.
Sean, in terms of fitting in, too, and being a new guy, last year, Tyrann Mathieu, he was able to do that very quickly in 1 year and establish himself. Do you see what he did last year as kind of a blueprint for a guy who jumps right in and the team doesn't miss a beat?
I'm big on, man, everybody is different. Some people, the biggest thing is, I've had to ask this question multiple times, man, throughout this process. What he brought to the table, man, I respect this game. I truly do. I don't know what he did as a person in the locker room. Obviously, I wasn't here, but, man, everybody have hot things to say about the guy. So it's tough for me to come in here and say, man, he showed me the blueprint. This is what I want to do, man. I'm a different guy. One guy tweets a lot, one guy don't have Twitter. I don't have Twitter. He's always tweeting about something, man. So obviously our personality is different, man, and people just react to different personalities different, man. I might not be as rah-rah, as vocal as he is about certain things, and certain things might push his buttons different than mine, man. The biggest thing is I don't want nobody to compare me to him, especially from things that the naked eye can't see. That's things that you're born with, man, and I don't know that I don't know if those are things will be able to be told until, I kind of get a feel for the locker room. My biggest thing is not coming in here trying to be nobody else, trying to do nothing other than just go out there and be the best football player that I can be, first and foremost, and I think that, like I say, obviously he was able to get a grasp on that because his play spoke for itself, and then whatever he brought to the locker room was just an added bonus. And, for me, that's the first thing, man. I can't lead nobody until people actually know that I'm about what I'm saying. So moving forward, it's just a slow process, man. We got leaders on this team, man, obviously JJ, and, these type of guys, man. I'm not trying to come in here and say, hey, man, I'm going to take over and do what Tyrann Mathieu was doing. But, if the shoe fit, I was kind of thrusted into that role in Jacksonville. Nothing that I forced myself into when it happened. My last year or two in Jacksonville, it felt comfortable enough when I knew when my time was to kind of be that guy. So, moving forward, man, I'm excited about this opportunity, man. I'm just soaking all of this in right now.
How excited are you to play for Coach Crennel?
Oh, man, his defenses are man, the schemes is just amazing. And, just being able, from talking to him, man, for them to being able to use me to my best ability, I mean, that's an exciting time. He's well respected around the league. Obviously playing against the Texans 6 times, in the duration of my career in Jacksonville. I've seen the things and, the opportunities that, these guys on the back ends have. And, although, they might not lead the league in interceptions, man, there's plenty of opportunities for those guys. If they could capitalize on some of those plays, man, you're looking at huge turnovers, man. So I think that the defenses, obviously, we're starting to get our feet wet and looking, and it's just like, man, being a part of this, man, I don't know exactly where and what they're going to have me doing, but I'm excited about that opportunity.
How excited are you to be back in Texas?
Man, I can't tell y'all enough. It's crazy how it happened, man. I was actually at dinner with another team when I got the call. I won't share that team with y'all, but I was at the team with another dinner because I don't want them to put the target on me. But and when I got the call, it just was simple. It was like, close the deal right now, And then I had to finish off dinner, with them. And it just was just, like I say, man, all jokes aside, it just was one of those situations where, as soon as I got cut, unfortunately, Texas was one of the teams that had reached out. And, obviously knowing what I knew about, what they wanted to do, bring in a couple of the guys who was here, I understood that, it's probably not the first option for us. And, I began to make my moves. And when the call happened, it was a surreal moment just being able to come back home, man. I'm 3 hours up the road. And I've always said, man, I've played in Cleveland, I played in Jacksonville. Those are not convenient flights nor drives for my family. They make the opening games, but, here, to be able to just come down here, man, for every game, man, my cheering section might be incredibly huge, man. I might have to put a cap on my tickets because, man, I'm going to have so many family members coming down. But just being home, I'm a Texas boy, man. I love the state of Texas. I love off-season. I love coming home. So for me to be able to be back here in my home state of Texas, man, I'm 3 hours up the street, man. My house is literally 3 hours and 10 minutes, man. I GPS'd it, trust me. And it's 3 hours and 10 minutes, man. So for me to just be able to straight up 45, man, I mean, I can't express how excited I am about this opportunity, man. Y'all have no idea, man. And I'm going to get this organization everything I got.
You've taken advantage of your opportunity in the league. What advice would you give to all these new players that are going to be coming in the league this year?
You know, just be yourself, and you know, let the cards fall where they may. I think the biggest thing for me coming in is that you know, I played cornerback in college my whole career, and you know, I got to the league, and you know, they said, hey man, you probably won't make this team as a corner. You might want to switch and play safety. And, you know, I think that is probably the worst thing you can tell a cornerback is to, hey, we want you to play safety. And, you know, I put my pride aside and I said, okay, man, and I done turned in a decent career for myself, man, life-changing for me and my family. So I think that, man, if you just let the cards fall where they may, straight ahead, man, keep laser focused, man. There's a lot of things, no matter if you was a first-round pick or undrafted guy, man, there's so many variables in this league, man, that can knock you off your path and your course that, man, just stay focused, man, and do what you need to do. Control what you can control. And that's one of the things that has got me through the league. That's one of the things that's been harped and preached on in my 8 years in the league, man. If you can control what you can control, man, everything else you'll be okay with the results, man. And that's why I stand before y'all today, just understanding that, look, yeah, man, unfortunately, man, I got cut, man, but, you know, by me controlling what I can control, man, I'm here, man, and I couldn't be more happier with the outcome of being here, being back in Houston, playing for this organization, and, you know, getting things started.
Did he give you any feedback about, he was here before and he played?
Yeah.
What did he think? What did he say?
Oh, man, I think that, you know, AJ is one of my closest friends, and, you know, he was excited for me. Obviously, sad, mixed emotions, man, because, you know, me, him, Aaron Colvin, Jalen, man, we built the bond, man. Those guys, you know, those guys would be invited to my wedding. You know, those guys are like true lifelong friends. And, you know, he told me about the city. He told me about, you know, obviously he's been gone for 3 years. So things have changed a little bit. But, you know, he just gave me some, you know, advice about the coaches and the culture here in Texas, man. And that's really helpful. It's always helpful to have a guy here who I look at like a brother in Aaron Colvin. So the transition, man, has been so smooth and easy for me. You know, but AJ definitely kind of shared some things with me, man, because he was familiar with the city. He was here for 4 years. This the team that gave him a start. So, you know, he definitely did, man, and that's been very helpful as well.
Aside from your family, what did you miss most about Texas?
Oh man, it's so much. We'd be caught in rush hour if I could tell y'all what I missed about Texas, man. I love this state, man. I can't tell y'all enough how much I love the state of Texas, man. But it's just that feeling. It's just something that's just so indescribable that I can't sit here and put a cap on what I missed about the state of Texas, man. And obviously, people might kill me for this, but, you know, Dallas and Houston is one and the same in my opinion. So, you know, I think that I'm home. I feel like Houston is my home, man. And seriously, I think that it's so much beautiful things about, you know, first of all, man, the love for football. I mean, it's unmatched. I don't think that you're going to ever find this type of, the type of love for the game that you have in the state of Texas, man, from high school to Little League to, you know, I'm excited, man. My son is my protege, and, you know, he's a good football player, man. If y'all ain't checked out my Instagram, y'all might need to, man. He's that nice. So, you know, I'm excited about getting him down here, testing the waters versus some Texas football. But, man, just the whole atmosphere around it, man. And I remember when we came down here and played, and it was after the hurricane, and it was shocking how many fans came to that game. And it just show you what the game of football, man, what football brings to this city, man. And obviously you got the Rockets and you got the Astros, but you know, this is a football city, man. This is a football state. So with that being said, man, it's just, you just can't beat that, man. I love the game of football. I'm in a city that loves football. I mean, it's just a perfect match.
What's the biggest lesson that you're going to take away from playing on a really good defense like Jacksonville, one that Jalen Ramsey and everyone could get very vocal at times too? What about that experience are you going to take here?
You know, I think that it's so tough because, you know, obviously there's so many different personalities in Jacksonville that, you know, I don't see being here in Houston. Obviously, I don't know. So time will tell. But, you know, just the experience of being part of something so successful, I think that 2017 defense was just one of the defenses where, you know, everything clicked. And I feel like we have that potential here, man. I'm not unfamiliar with what it looks like when it looks right. And, you know, you have every guy here. I mean, you look back on that defense, and it's very comparable to this defense when it comes to a nasty up front. I mean, you got a guy in J.J. Watt who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Clowney, Merciless. I mean, the list goes on. You got young linebackers who's incredibly athletic, and, man, and, you know, obviously the question is on the secondary. So, you know, that's kind of how it was coming into 2017. We had all of the pieces everywhere except for the secondary, and it's kind of that deja vu feeling where it's like, okay. And, you know, that's exciting for me, man, because I know that when it looks right, man, when everything is up front, the thing about it is rush and cover go together. When you got a rush like this, man, it's hard not to be able to be opportunistic on the back end. So, you know, I'm appreciative of that opportunity, man, and, you know, I'm appreciative of being able to step into a defense that, in my opinion, is still one of the best defenses in the National Football League. So, with that being said, man, I'm excited to be here, man. I'm excited to go to work, man. I won't say too much. I'll just let my play speak for it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Is there anyone, Nick's on deck, but is there anyone else that you guys would like to?
What's going on?
Offseason, how excited are you about Coach Kelly getting promoted offensive coordinator?
Oh, awesome. Obviously, when I came in, Coach Kelly was assistant offensive line coach for me. He helped me with the offense tremendously, learning it my rookie year. How approachable he is, the questions, how comfortable you feel to ask that. It's awesome.
Deshaun said that he doesn't feel like he has a lot of corrections to make, but he has a lot of small details that he wants to work on. Is that something you see just working with him all the time?
He's always working. You know, he's always, when I come in, and he's always one of the first in the building, you know, last to leave, which that's what you want in your quarterback. He's honest with himself. But again, you know, it goes back to how poised he is and how professional he is as a player. That's what you want in your quarterback and your leader.
What progress may an offense make when the quarterback is just healthy and you don't have to worry about anything like that during the offseason?
Yeah, no, it is. It's big time, and you know, injury is part of the game. And we were more fortunate, you know, this past year, and being able to just go in the offseason and have him on the field, you know, whether it's starting with the huddle, going from play to play, have him all spring, it's going to be a big advantage.
As an offensive line, where do you guys feel like you can get better individually, collectively? What do you guys hope to do?
Yeah, it starts day to day. Again, you know, we love being in here. We love football. Having everyone in the building just kind of puts a smile on everyone's face. And, you know, it's already started, you know, film. And we try to take the approach day by day, just one thing. Maybe one thing in the run, one thing in the pass. And it's started already.
What do you think of Matt? I know you haven't been on the field and everything, but just
Yeah, Matt's all. I mean, all our guys, Chantrell, him back too, and Matt. He's very personable. He's a good guy. Already asking all types of questions about the offense, what you want. You can tell he's a veteran, he's a leader, he's a professional.
Did you guys tell last year with the limited time you could spend with Deshaun through, you know, he wasn't allowed to do 11-11, things like that. Could you tell that something was missing as you were going through the offseason as an offense, and you think that's something that you will see a difference in throughout the whole process?
Yeah, obviously it'll help having your quarterback out there running things at the start of spring. But again, his poise, him coming in, whether it's camp, week one, whatever he does, I mean, we trust in him. His confidence on the field is contagious.
Would you describe the offensive line as a hungry group? You guys obviously had some success last year. You also had some things too in terms of sacks allowed, things like that obviously you want to improve upon. But how would you describe the mentality of the line right now? Hungry,
there's no doubt. If you're not hungry, you're doing it wrong. You're not going to last long in this league. There's no doubt about that. And again, it starts day by day. Just get a little bit better each day.
There are a lot of new pieces. Do you have a sense for how all the pieces are going to be put into play? Like, could you move around? Do some of the other players move around?
You know, that's above my pay grade. I'm not sure about that. I'm just going to come in and try to do my job each day.
You know, one of the things that Deshaun Watson does really well is when there's pressure, he can escape pressure. During practice, he's wearing red jersey, so that doesn't happen. How do you prepare for the special gifts that he has during games that he's not getting hit during, you know, practice?
There's just, excuse me, as offensive line, you just can't have a time clock in your head. Obviously he's a playmaker. That's a natural ability. You can't really teach instinct like that. So for us, we don't have a time clock. We just got to keep blocking until that ball gets off.
Anything else?
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, thank you.